Hi, my name is Åsa Ros, and this video is about constructing a player character for the Keyring RPG. This is the deluxe version of the Keyring RPG, so it comes in a box with a pen and dice. One die. Ooh, big hands. So, in order to make a character in the Keyring RPG, what you need is a character sheet. And the character sheets, there are 4 of them included in the game, but there are also sheets available for download on my webpage, discordia.se, are at the back of the game. So just open up the game and pick a character sheet. Use pencil when you're filling in the stats. If you have to change something later on, or if you get hurt or damaged, then it's good to be able to erase it. Okay, so to start with, you have 3 abilities. Physique, or maybe body is a better word in English, is all about brawn and stamina, strength, dexterity, etc. Charisma is about how attractive you are, how socially gifted you are. Mental strength is about willpower, intelligence, and wit. Now you have 3 dots to place in your on your basic 3 abilities, and you can put all dots in one ability, or you can put 1 dot in each ability, or you can spread it out as you see fit. So what I'm going to do first is, of course, I'm going to name my character, and I'm naming my character Alex. And Alex is going to have 1 dot in physique or body to show that she's she can use her body, but she's not brilliant at it, and then 2 in mental strength, which means that she's kind of smart, and she's a problem solver. She doesn't have anything in charisma, which means that she lacks social skills, basically, or at least that she's not trained in them. So the abilities are used as a basic dice pool. So for each dot you have in an ability, you can roll 1 6-sided die. So for physique or body, it would be 1 die. For mental strength, you would roll 2 dice, or 1 die twice. Next up is health. There are 7 squares in health, because no matter how wimpy you are, you always have 1 square in health. After that first square, you also add mental strength, which is 2 for Alex, right? And then physique, which is 1 for Alex. So she's got 4 in total. Ego is the player character's self-esteem and is used when resolving social conflicts. As with health, the player character always has a basic square in ego. And here you add charisma and mental strength. So first 1 basic square, and then mental strength, which is 2. So Alex has 3 in ego. Armor is used to detract from damage when the player character sustains injuries. There are 4 levels of armor, and to be able to carry heavy armor, you need dots in body or physique, and cloth can be worn without any dots in physique. So each dot in armor also costs 1 skill point, and you have 5 skill points to start with, but you also need that for skills, but I'll get to that when we turn over to the character sheet. Alex is not going to have any kind of armor. So the armor looks like this. You have cloth, which is 1 dot protection, but nothing in physique. Leather, which is 2 dot protection, 1 dot in physique. Chainmail, which is 3 dots protection and 2 dots in physique. And metal or plate armor, which is 4 dots protection and 3 dots in physique. And this can be changed depending on what genre you're playing. So if you're playing science fiction, maybe leather is Kevlar or something like that. Then there are weapons. Weapons are divided into ranged and melee weapons, but it's not on this side. That's not what decides what kind of weapon it is. Rather, it's the skill that decides what kind of weapon it is. So if you have ranged weapons, which is this one basically, then the weapon on the front is a ranged weapon. If you have melee weapon, the weapon on the front is a melee weapon, depending on which one you use. So it's not weapon fetishistic role-playing game. It's just if you're in close range, or use a vase or something and hit them in the head, and, well, you get the idea. When you hit someone, you roll a 3-sided die for each dot the weapon has. If you get above the opponent's armor rating, you do that much damage to the opponent. So let's say my enemy has a weapon with 2 dots, right? And let's pretend this is my enemy. He or she gets to roll 3-sided dice. So first roll is a 1, because 2 on a 3-sided die is a 1. And second roll is a 6, which is a 3. So if Alex would have been going up against this opponent and had that damage inflicted on her, she would have 4 in damage, right? She doesn't have anything in armor, which means that her health will go down to 0, basically. She's going to be unconscious. She's not going to be dead until she has sustained 7 in damage. So she has a couple of points left before she's dead. As a finishing touch, the player character also needs skills, and those are on the back. There are 10 skills to start with, and I have 5 dots to place. I can use these dots that I have for skills to use for armor as well, but Alex's not going to do that. Each dot in these skills will increase my basic roll to up my chances of getting a successful roll. And if you don't feel that the 10 skills that are listed here are enough, you can always make up your own. So Alex is going to have 2 in problem solving, and that's 2 dots down. I have 3 left, and then 1 in ranged combat, 1 in charm, and 1 in knowledge. When trying to succeed with a roll, you first pick out the ability you want to use, and then you pick out the skill you want to use to help you with the roll. For instance, Alex wants to climb a fence, and she decides that body is probably best, or physique is probably best. And the fence has a difficulty of 4, which is a very high fence. And seeing that she only has 1 dice to roll, Alex also wants to use problem solving with 2 dots. Right there. So let's see how she does. Ooh! She doesn't need to use her skill because she rolled a 6, which means that she'll climb that fence with no problem. And that's basically it. As a player, you're free to mix any skills with the basic abilities to reach your goal, as long as your logic behind it is sound. For instance, if you want to charm someone, but you lack the charisma, perhaps use body and charm to show off your muscles. That's just an idea. Thanks for listening.